Every World Series has a death blow, that one moment that proves to be the tipping point. Sometimes you know it right away, other times you realize it after the game or series is over. I've already gone over the World Series from 2003 to 2012, and then 2013 and 2022. Those links are down below. Today, let's look at the last 10 before that, 1993 to 2002, and find the death blow for everyone. In 1993, everyone knows about the Joe Carter Game 6 walk-off. This capped a 3-run comeback in the 9th inning, the Phillies entering with a lead after a 5-run 7th, trying to force a Game 7, but Mitch Williams put 2 on with 1 out, and Carter hit just the second World Series clinching home run in history. This was the final death blow, but let's dial it back to Game 4 in Philly. You could argue that's where the real death blow occurred. The Phillies were looking to tie the series at 2 games apiece, and they entered the 6th inning with a 14-9 lead. Larry Anderson and Mitch Williams, together, burned Veterans Stadium to the ground. The Jays launched a huge rally, but the Phillies still had a 14-13 lead with 2 outs, and that's when Devon White tripled the center field, driving in the 2 winning runs, giving the Jays a 3-1 lead, knowing they still had 2 games at home if needed. Carter may have had the death blow, but White's triple was devastating. In 1994, the death blow came on August 12th when the World Series came to an end before it even started. The strike would be a black eye on baseball, hurting the game's reputation and lasting all the way till April 1995 when it finally ended, and that season would be shortened by 18 games. In 1995, the Indians went back to Atlanta needing to win both games, a tall task, and they would run into a buzzsaw in Tom Glavine. He took a no-hitter into the 6th inning, only giving up 1 hit over 8 innings, scattering 3 walks. It was obvious the Indians would have to outlast Glavine and try to get to the bullpen, so as soon as the Braves scored, it was pretty much over. That was the death blow, and it came in the bottom of the 6th. David Justice leading off against Jim Poole and blasting a home run to right field. This would be the only run of the game, and Mark Wohlers closed it out in the 9th to win the Braves' first World Series in Atlanta. In 1996, the Braves were back and they were in good shape against the Yankees, up 2-1 and having a 6-3 lead in the 8th. That's when Jim Leyritz hit his famous game-tying 3-run homer, a game the Yankees would win in extras. This forced the Braves to win Game 5, not wanting to go down 3-2 going back to the Bronx. Just like Glavine did the year prior, Andy Pettitte put in 8 masterful innings, trying to finish off a 1-0 win in the 9th. But Chipper Jones ripped a double and John Wetland came in to finish the job. He got Javi Lopez, he gave a free pass to Ryan Klesko, and it came down to Luis Polonia, 2 on, 2 out, the tying run 90 feet away, and John Wetland got him to fly out to end it, locking up the Yankees' 3rd win in Atlanta, going home with 2 chances to win it. In 1997, we had another walk-off finish, this one in Game 7, and that 2-out, bases-loaded single, Renteria off Charles Nagy, will live on forever. That was the true death blow, but we can look back 3 batters. Bobby Bonilla on first, Greg Zahn just popping up the sac bunt, and Craig Counsell hit a ground ball to Tony Fernandez. It looks like it wouldn't have been a double play, but an easy out at first. Once that ball got into the outfield, the Indians were in deep trouble, runners on the corners and 1 out, and that led to Renteria's heroics. In 1998, the Yankees looked to be a force that could not be stopped. They exploded for 9 runs in the first 2 games, so the Padres knew if they wanted to get back into the series, they would need to win all 3 games in San Diego. Game 3 looked promising. They were up 3-0 until Scott Brosius went yard in the 7th, and in the 8th, they called on Trevor Hoffman to get a 6-out save. With 2 on and 1 out, Scott Brosius came up again and went dead center for a 3-run shot. That flipped the scoreboard and gave the Yankees a 3-0 series lead, and the Padres had to know they were done. In 1999, the Yankees were once again up 2-0, this time coming home to New York, and the Braves facing a must-win to avoid a 3-0 hole. Tom Glavine gave it everything he had, taking a 2-run lead to the 8th, but Chuck Knobloch hit a 2-run game-tying home run, forcing extra innings, and in the 10th, Chad Curtis led off with a walk-off homer, taking Mike Remlinger to the Braves bullpen, a no-doubter, and that loss took all the wins out of the Braves' sails, having not only blown a late lead, but now down 3-0 on their way to a sweep. In 2000, we had the epic Subway Series, and even though the Mets found themselves down 3-1 going into Game 5, they were right there in every game, losing every game by 1 run, and they were locked into another tight one in Game 5. Al Leiter was trying to will the series into Game 6, pitching into the 9th in a 2-2 game, and after getting the first 2 outs, he allowed 2 runners to get on. And on his 142nd pitch of the game, Luis Sojo dribbled a single to center, the throw hitting Posada as he scored, allowing Scott Brosius to come all the way around from first. Mets fans had to know that was it. Mariano Rivera came in and closed out the Yankees' 3rd straight World Series win. In 2001, we had our 3rd World Series winning walk-off in 10 years. Luis Gonzalez hitting this flare to center, one of the most iconic moments in baseball history, capping one of the most iconic World Series of all time. That was the death blow, but if you rewind a few plays, you'll find the key play that led to the walk-off. Rivera entered the ninth having a 1-run lead, and he gave up a leadoff single to Mark Grace, followed by a sacrifice bunt for Damian Miller. Rivera had a play at second, and in all likelihood, with the catcher running, and the way he took a step back after he bunted it, a good throw to second turns into a double play and the game is all but over. Instead, 2 on and nobody out, and it all got worse from there. The World Series came down to this throw being a couple more feet to the left. In 2002, the Angels had a miraculous late-inning comeback in Game 6 to force a Game 7, and with all that momentum on their side, in the third inning, the Angels loaded the bases with nobody out off of Livan Hernandez, and Garrett Anderson drove them all in with a double to right field. Those 3 runs were the backbreaker, and the Giants wouldn't score for the rest of the game, Troy Percival closing it out. So there you go, the death blow from every World Series from 1993 to 2002. Let me know what you think, if you would have picked another moment, and if you have any other memories or thoughts, sound off in the comments below. If you want to see the death blow for more recent years, check out the links below. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like, and if you're new here and want to see more like this, please give me a sub. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.